here at the Neil Armstrong Memorial. This is the spot where in 1969 Neil Armstrong, it's a memorial for when he walked on the moon. And 33 years before that, this is the exact spot where he took his first flight at. But we're here today for Michael Sheard. This is a tribute to him. He is famous for Star Wars. He was Admiral Ozzel in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. He was also in Indiana Jones movies. He was in Space 1999 and Doctor Who. But we're here today to remember him, and he was in my last movie, Shadows in the Woods. Michael,
I'll see you again.
just going around filming.
Yeah, you're very sneaky with that thing, you know.
Peter Mayhew.
I am.
And what was it like working with Michael Sheard?
We only had little scenes, but not in the movie. But Michael was always a wonderful guy to work with, and you know, he had a wonderful personality, and we just became friends very, very quickly. As I say, he was an individual, I'm an individual, so we tended to get along on a pretty good basis.
One of the things I really remember about Michael is how nice he was. He came out and he did this part for Shadows in the Woods. It was my first movie. I had paused and I did another movie in between, and then went back and finished this movie. But very nice person to help out a young filmmaker. And one of the things Michael was very proud of was his death scene in Star Wars. George Lucas said it was the best death scene he'd ever seen, and he was very proud of that. What was he like at the conventions?
Absolutely wonderful. He had enormous energy, and he would greet the fans, but in no other way that only Michael could. He'd have his books and his pictures out, and he would be talking to people. He'd be wandering around, and people just loved him. He was a wonderful guy.
When did you first meet him?
Oh, must have been a long time ago. I can't remember the year that I first met him, but you know, he's one of those guys that you get along with, and you see him at other conventions. And we've been conventioning for a number of years together, and he would recommend other conventions that he would think that we would that I would be able to get, have a good time at, and he was for the fan conventions rather than the commercial ones.
Michael enjoyed going to the conventions. That was one of the things he liked to do most, and we had emailed each other a lot after Shadows in the Woods. And he was going to be in a space movie that I was going to be working on, a sci-fi movie, and I ended up not doing the movie because my star, it wasn't going to be in it. So, maybe down the road someday I'll do another space movie, but he was going to play in high up, either captain or admiral in that movie.
I know Michael used to like his drop of scotch now and again, and sort of, bar stories, Michael was usually in the middle of them. But he was however late that he was up at night, usually socializing in the bar with the fans. He was always up at about 8 o'clock in the morning, fresh as a daisy. I've seen him drunk many, many times, but he always got up in the morning, and you wouldn't have thought he'd been out carousing with the fans overnight. He was one of those guys that just a lot of energy and a lot of personality.
He also came out for my first Dark Xmas convention when I first really started doing things around here. He helped me get started, and that was great. He helped me with getting me set up for the convention, on what to do, and the Q&As and different things, an opening ceremony, a closing ceremony. He was big on that. When he went to shows, he always liked to wear his bow tie, and him and Peter Mayhew and some of the other actors had a little thing going on at the conventions where they'd be called grandfather and different names. They had uncle for each other that they thought was funny when they'd see each other at different shows. They were a big Star Wars family. What will you miss most about him?
Just Michael being Michael. Just Michael being there. Because, as I say, we had a good relationship, and he was just a wonderful man. Will be missed, and he will be. His favourite story was that his death, according to George Lucas, was the best death that George had seen in many years.
Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. So,
okay, well, thank you for your time.
As I say, he will be sadly missed. No doubt he's looking down at what we're doing. Will be, he will approve it, and he would enjoy it anyway.
In closing, I wanted to say it was an honor to work with Michael Sheard. He's going to be missed by everyone. He'll be missed by everyone in the movies, in the movie business, in the convention business. And it was, like I said, it was just an honor to work with him. One of the nicest actors I've ever met, one of the most professional actors I've ever met. And you're going to be missed.
There you are, dear boy.
Thank you.
Take it and hang it on your wall.
Thank you for coming out.
What?
So thank you for coming out here to Youngstown.
Cheers. Thank you for asking. Now I have a date with your mother. I must go and catch her. Now take your camera down there. Take your camera down there and photograph the lovely lady at the end of the row.